So you got some Odell Beckham news.
I don't have Odell. You do. I don't have Odell Beckham.
Weird.
I don't have Odell Beckham news.
What happened? Remember, this is your job now.
Some woman came out who slept with Odell and said he likes to get shit on. I don't fucking know, man. It's terrible. Why? This isn't even news. Why is this news? I don't understand why this is news.
Wait, let me ask him. Does it affect the way he plays?
I don't know.
Maybe the last couple of years. I don't know.
Oh my God, I don't even know. Is that news? Is that really news?
It is.
I mean that's what's in the news these days, you know? All this shit going on in the world, and Odell likes to get shit on. It's the top headline.
All right. Well, welcome to our Trendy Husky Podcast. All right. Welcome to our Trendy Husky Podcast. If you haven't subscribed, please go do so in our YouTube page, Instagram, or Facebook page. Today, we got the whole team back. All of them back.
The OGs.
The OGs of the OGs. So today, it'll be mostly a sports show. So hopefully you guys get to enjoy it. We got beautiful Ollie in production.
Hey guys.
We got the return, the one, the only Danny Blue Eyes, and your host Yassi. Woo! Let's go.
Let's go.
What up, brother?
What's up, man? How's it going, dude? You all right, man? What's going on?
Man, sports have been tricky. NBA have been tricky this year.
Has it been tricky? I mean, at least the bubble's still going.
The bubble is still going, still strong.
They're even adding people. They're adding family members. They're trying to add, significant others.
The season look is
the bubble has worked flawlessly. Forever was scared. I mean, I think the NBA did it pretty good, huh?
I'm worried about the NFL not doing the same thing.
All right, let's not. As we said, we're 2 days away.
We're not jinxing.
Good jujus.
Good jujus.
Where do we send the bad jujus?
Away.
Canada. Don't we remember this? We had this conversation.
Don't send them as long as you don't send them to Mexico, because I've been going to Mexico lately.
Okay, all right.
So.
We'll send them up to Canada.
Yes,
blow it up north, baby.
Yeah, that's
blow
fine.
it up
Just
north. Yeah.
Go over there, over the wall. We're going to do some breakdowns of these series that have been going on.
Yeah, let's give it. Let's get it.
So, let's start with the first one, Bucks versus the Heat. Their series at 3-1 right now, Heat.
I know.
Jimmy Buckets have been on fire.
I know we talked about it last week. Sheldon, he gave his upset pick for Miami, which is looking pretty strong right now.
It is.
I mean, they came out the gates running.
He did come out and say Miami was going to take them home.
They swept their first series and they won their first 3 of Milwaukee. I don't think too many people saw them taking the first 3 games there. Yeah.
And not like
I mean, I thought it would be a tight, competitive series. I would have never guessed that.
And the way they took the 3 games, they dominated in both ends of the floor.
Each time you'd think Milwaukee would, be like, all right, this is a game we have to win, have to take. Miami still came out with a bigger aggression.
And this is what I got to come out and give you credit when you came out and said Middleton is not a good number 2 guy to have.
Oh, yeah, we said that. I mean, he showed it last year. Come playoff time, he disappeared. And what happened, again, this time, they plugged the lane, they double-team Giannis, they forced him to give up the ball early, and no one could beat them.
Yeah.
No one could beat them.
Because when you have 3 guys building a wall on Giannis, the other guy should be able to pick up
You
the
have
slack.
to. You have to step up, make open shots, or create plays or something. I mean, where's Bledsoe? I mean, Middleton showed up once Giannis went down last game. I'll give him credit for that.
In the second half.
Yeah, he ended up scoring like 31 points, I believe. But, I mean, still, I'd like to say it's still a little too late,
Right.
I mean,
3-1.
Yeah,
that's hard to come back from.
I mean, they were down 3-0 going into series, and Giannis rolls his ankle again. I mean, you have to think Milwaukee's headed to a breakup.
So here's my question about that. Should Giannis take any of the blame? Should he be compared to a past Harden in the playoffs?
That's a tough one. I mean, it's hard to blame Giannis, especially when he's trying to do everything. But, I mean, you could see in this series, though, he hasn't played up to the level that is expected of him. I mean, he's been slightly below that, but it's hard to shoulder all the blame on him. I mean,
so like game 3 when he shot 0 for 6 for the 3-point point.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, is that more pressure on him, or is that more on the other guys playing with him on the team? That
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, you see, Giannis clearly knows that the other guys haven't been stepping up, so he's been trying to go outside his game a little bit. He's been trying to stretch the floor. Okay. I mean, shooting 6 threes. I mean, probably a little bit too much for him, especially because I feel like he's more of a streaky shooter.
Yeah,
he's not really consistent. Yeah, he's not consistent from deep. But when the other guys aren't making shots, when Bledsoe's not hitting deep or Middleton's not hitting deep, I mean, Giannis is going to try to take it in his own hands and try to step up in areas of his game.
Yeah, Bledsoe has been garbage.
Yeah,
garbage.
Mm-hmm.
The whole series. Yeah. Middleton, he showed up that second
half, but saved their season a little bit there.
He hasn't been doing anything great beside that second half
exactly.
in Game 4. Nothing that you'd be like, all right. Well,
it shows he's a role player. I mean, that's what he has shown.
Yeah,
I mean, he's nothing more than
what do you do with that Bucks team? Do you if you're Giannis, do you go to another team when you're free agent? Do you stay? You require more players? What's the best option for Giannis here?
For Giannis?
Yeah. Because he's a beast. We know that.
Everyone knows he's a beast, but I mean, Milwaukee the last few years has had opportunities to put better talent around him.
They did.
And they seem just to be stagnant the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the same very similar team, almost the same exact team as last year. You're hoping Giannis wouldn't make that extra step.
A little bit of role players, but nothing that will make a noise come playoff
Exactly,
times.
nothing that clearly would make a difference at all. And I mean, here it is again. It's the same problem as last year when Toronto knocked them out.
I agree.
They put 3-4 guys in the box. They said, "Hey, someone else beat you." And this
so
is
if you're Giannis, do you stay? Do you go?
I don't know. That's tough to say because Giannis, if he does stay with Milwaukee, obviously that's when he qualifies for the most money.
True.
qualifies for that supermax deal of 5 years of.
But he hasn't won anything. Money is great, but it's not like he's making scrap money right now. You know what I mean? And he's going to be making a great amount of money.
What's the difference between 180 or 160 million dollars?
Exactly.
What's the difference?
And plus, you might win a chip somewhere else if you go to Miami.
I hope he doesn't go to Miami.
That would be nice. And
I mean, look at how strong Miami is without him.
Exactly.
Without him.
And I think him and Jimmy Buckets will play great together. And by the way, I gotta give credit to Jimmy Butler. And when we talk about Jimmy Butler, we always keep talking about his experience with the Bulls in Minnesota and Philadelphia. Well, guess what? In a way, Jimmy Buckets have shown great talent with Miami.
Oh yeah, great talent. And
Pat
I think
Riley
the pieces
is
around
very
him,
happy with him. Pat Riley is super happy with him, and he has a bunch of young talent that follows him. They listen to him.
They do, yeah. He's a leader, he's a leader for sure. And I mean, the younger players are buying into what he's saying.
Did you see that play with Bledsoe yesterday? Well, not yesterday, the day before, Game 4. Well, Bledsoe kind of hit his arm. And even the refs came out after the game and like, yeah, we fucked up.
Yeah.
And, they were asking him, hey, do you feel like, that play had something to do with the loss? And he was like, no, we didn't lose because of the one freaking play. We lost because we didn't deserve to win today. I love that.
Oh, yeah, the response he had,
yeah. Man.
The reporters were trying to set it up, like, for him to make excuses or this or that, and he's like, no, he didn't take it. I think his play and his tone, I mean, it has really, like, set the tone for the team, I feel like, in this bubble, in this playoffs,
Absolutely.
Even like when Chris Paul last series threw the ball, remember he chucked it against his teammate, and then the very next play Butler rammed his shoulder into Chris Paul. He was just letting him know, hey, I don't give a shit how respected you are in the league. This is my team, and you don't bully my team.
No, yeah.
So you gotta respect that.
And he came out after the game. He's like, I don't need friends in the bubble.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
here to make friends. I'm here to win.
Oh yeah, when he shouldered Chris Paul,
He's like, I'm not here to make friends. I don't need anyone in this bubble.
Now, realistically speaking, you think Miami has a shot of winning it all? I mean,
I think they're gonna come out of the East now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Boston or Toronto being in it.
I mean, you've never liked Boston. So.
I don't.
You've never respected
We're gonna
Boston.
talk about Boston and we're gonna talk about their game, but talking about Miami, they look like they're my favorite in the East now. Could they beat a Lakers or a Clippers in the final?
That's the real question.
Or even Houston? I mean, it's doable.
See, I keep thinking like Miami. You look at their roster, you don't think they're like. You keep thinking, where's the scoring going to come from after Butler? But you get in 12 from Dragic, you get in 16 from Bam. It's just a variety of people that keep over and over. Like Tyler Hero, the rookie,
none of
he
them
hit a big
are
shot
great
again.
alone.
Exactly. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for Jimmy Butler's your one. Where's that second coming from? But it's a variety of people. It's Tyler Hero. It's Bam. It's a wide variety of people that Goran has taken a step, turning back the clock a little bit.
He did,
and he's looking fresh and nimble. He's becoming a playmaker. So you keep
Dragic has been amazing.
That's what I'm saying. You keep thinking like that, not having that number two scorer per se is going to hurt them, but they hit you from so many different ways.
They do,
and they're so athletic on the wing.
They do, and
they
play
switch.
Defense.
Yeah, that's the thing. They play defense in the modern NBA.
Yes.
Their big guys are able to run out on the 3-point shooters. The way they're playing defense right now, it looks suffocating. They're all running out there, trapping their.
No, I do believe that what was it, game 2 or game 3? Game 3. The one that came down to the wire where Jimmy Butler shot those free throws in the end.
Oh yeah,
I felt like that wasn't a foul.
Oh yeah, there's been.
Okay, first of all, let me say this: the play before that one when Middleton went in for the 3 and he got the three shots, free throws. I don't think that was a foul either.
No.
That was because Dragic went straight.
What I've noticed with the NBA refs in this bubble is they're calling a lot more fouls on the shot.
That's not the issue.
Because they're not letting them land.
That's not the issue. The issue is that they go and review it, not because sometimes you could review a play without a coach, asking for a review, and they still will not fix the error.
No.
That's what I have a problem with. Is when you spend that couple minutes and you kill the vibe of the game and you're reviewing.
You do kill the vibe of the game.
Absolutely,
you do
because
they're
going. The timeout is not called.
It does.
And you're going and taking your time reviewing it, and then you effed up and you don't come out and just correct the error.
I was actually watching the Nuggets Clippers game with Mariah yesterday, and it was a good back and forth game the whole entire game. Yeah. And then they had to review a foul, and Mariah doesn't watch basketball religiously. She's like, "Wow, that really killed the momentum here." I'm like, "Yeah, just coming from a non-spectator, just nice. Looking from a neutral point of view, like, yeah, it does kill. Like, we had all the momentum. Now you're taking. Sometimes it takes even longer than 3 minutes.
It does. Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
What's going
just sitting
on?
over there and they're watching TV, and you see the refs like talking to you.
They should literally, I know back, NFL doesn't have it anymore, but back about 10 years ago, when you challenged a play, the refs only had, it was like 90 seconds or 2 minutes to review it.
Yep.
And if they couldn't come to a conclusion after the 2 minutes, then you stick with the call on the field.
The play stands.
I'm just saying there should be something in there. Like, you have 2 minutes to look at the replay. If you can't decide by then, keep the call. Let's keep the game moving.
And this is not an NBA fault per se. Again, I think this is a refs kind of problem. The refs needs to step it up, mostly in moments like these. They know people are starving for NBA. They don't want their team being sent off a playoff because of a bad call.
Oh yeah.
So you need to really step it up. You need to be more.
But they've been way too ticky-tacky with that, fouling the shooter. Like, because now offensive players know that they're calling it, so they're kicking out their leg, drawing that foul.
Yeah.
So it just causes a whole bunch. I don't know. I think it's been causing a whole bunch of issues, and it's way too ticky-tack. It's playoff basketball. It's freaking playoff basketball. You shouldn't, just because an offensive player kicks out their leg and you hit the defensive player, that shouldn't be a foul.
No,
it's ridiculous.
I completely agree. But going back to the Heat, okay, here's what it comes down to. Do you see the Heat, whether it's Houston, whether it's the Clippers, whether it's the Lakers, and these are the top 3 favorites in the West, do you see Miami winning at least 2 games?
I think I do. Yeah, I do.
So once you can predict a 6 game in a series, it can be a toss-up.
Oh, yeah, especially there's no home court advantage.
There's no home court advantage, and I think that worked great for Miami.
Oh, big time, yeah, of
course. Because they were 4th or 5th seed.
Yeah, exactly. So they did, they wouldn't have the home court advantage. Yeah,
and it came down to the wire for a couple of games versus the Bucks.
Oh,
the series could have been even right now.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
So, Bucks being a number 1 seed and having that home crowd and stuff, I mean, I think the series would have been at 2-2.
Yeah.
But because of it could have been easily 2-2.
Of course, I agree. Now, we don't know if Giannis is playing the games later this afternoon.
No.
Now, do you give the Bucks any shot of
coming back
scratching
from
a comeback?
Oh no. Because
it's 3-1 now. It was 3-0.
No. Because if you win the series, you're coming back from a 3-0 deficit,
which has never been done in basketball, right?
Yeah,
it's never been done.
And
it's never been done in basketball.
Not with the broken Giannis, not with Middleton.
Now we don't know how bad his ankle is, but I mean, he was in a walking boot. He didn't look like he was moving too well.
Let's be very clear. I watch a lot of stuff about Giannis. If Giannis was like maybe even at 30-40%, he would have finished the game yesterday. He is not the guy who will just go in the back and watch his team.
Exactly. No one's going to question his toughness.
Oh my God!
No one will question his toughness.
And he's got that Greek, Nigeria, African background.
Yeah.
So
he's a Greek freak for a reason. He's a freak,
man. And again, I don't see Jimmy Butler losing 4 games in a row. Not the way this Miami Heat has been playing. I don't. I have a bet with you that the Bucks were gonna win the East. But
I took the field. It's looking pretty solid for me.
Solid for you right
looking
now.
very solid.
I better start looking for a double or nothing opportunity.
Double or nothing. There you go.
But I don't see Jimmy Buckets losing 4 in a row. Okay, going to the next one. Raptors Boston. Now you know how I feel about Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed in the Raptors a little bit. Mostly when they went down 2-0. I felt like
should have been 3-0. How the hell did he get off that shot with 0.5 seconds left? I don't understand.
And hey,
I thought it was 0.7.
I reviewed it 30 times. I tried to see his
frame by frame. I don't understand how it's possible to release a shot in 0.5 seconds.
You know what's the beauty about that?
I don't know how it's possible.
What's something that I enjoyed the most about that play?
What?
The way he celebrated. He walked it like it was nothing. He was like, it's another day in the office.
Another day in the office.
I loved it. Anyone who would have jumped, anyone who would have...
He was like the fourth option on that play.
Yeah.
He was all the way across the court. They threw it to him. How... I don't even know. It saved their season. I mean, obviously they're not knocked out. They're only down 3-2, and you can't count out the Raptors. But, I mean, just the first 5 games of the series, Boston looks like the better team. They look stronger. I mean... Boston's still very young. Jaylen Brown looks scary. Tatum.
To watch.
Who? Boston?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't enjoy watching them because they're an okay team. They're not a great team that I know are gonna make it.
You keep saying that.
Okay. It is why.
They're not gonna make it. They're on the verge of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Fine. It is my point. I wanna watch a great finals. I don't want another Golden State Cleveland Cavaliers kind of finals. I don't want a finals where they get whooped 4-0 or 4-1. I want a close series. I want a 6-7 game series in the finals. I don't think Boston is going to give a 7-game series or a 6-game series to any team in the West. Miami? Yes. Raptors? Maybe. Definitely not Boston.
Well, so right now it's looking like it's going to be Heat and Boston. I mean...
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know. The Raptors, I don't know, man. I mean, they're 3-2.
That's true. Yeah,
they're 3-2.
We can't even count them out yet. I mean, Boston's look like the better team, though.
So what happened with Denver and the Jazz?
Yeah,
they came back from a 3-1 deficit.
All right.
So no, I can't count the Raptors out.
That's true.
It's still plenty of basketball to play there. This episode will be dropped tomorrow. The Celtics aren't playing today. Who's playing today? Is the
Lakers, Rockets, and Heat Bucks today.
So this will be dropped tomorrow. So we still got some time. So they'll be playing tomorrow. I think the Raptors still got a good shot of coming out of this series. I don't see the Raptors or Boston beating the Heat. I don't.
Yeah, right now it's hard finding a team that's gonna beat the Heat. Yeah. But I mean, obviously, whoever comes out the West, we know is going to be favored in finals. If it's either Heat or Boston,
100%.
Or Lakers, Clippers, they're both going to be the favorites.
Yeah. Now,
they're both going to be the favorite.
Let's go to the West. How are you liking this Clippers-Denver series? It's been exciting.
It has been. What my take on it from watching the Clippers and Nuggets is obviously the Clippers are the stronger, deeper team.
Absolutely.
It just seems like the Clippers turn it on whenever they want to turn it on.
That's true.
They yesterday the game was back and forth all the whole first 3.5 quarters, and then all of a sudden middle of the fourth quarter, what did the Nuggets scored 2 points over the final 7 minutes of the game?
Yeah.
The Clippers showed whenever they want to turn it on defensively.
Yeah, and that's scary.
It is
for
scary.
the rest of the league. It is scary. But here's what I blame it on. I blame it on one dude and one dude only, and that is Paul George. Because when Paul George is playing, the Clippers are the best team, and not even by
when
close.
He's himself. When he's himself. Yeah, exactly. When he's himself.
When best team by far.
Oh yeah.
He played the great game 3, and
oh, he did. Yeah, exactly.
When Paul George is there, then you know the Clippers are a scary, scary team.
Very scary team. They're scarier than the Lakers, just because how deep they are. I'm not talking just because of George and
anywhere. Kawhi was playing great defense yesterday. Kawhi was great.
Blocked it with his middle finger.
Yeah, did you see that? Versus
I don't understand.
But that was it was going to be a dirty dunk. If that would have won in.
Oh yeah. They needed that momentum.
Oh, yes.
Murray, that's why he went for it.
Yeah.
He's like, my team needs something.
He wanted to go for that dunk, and I don't blame Murray for it. Murray is a great player.
He is a great player, but he showed that, he got shut down yesterday.
By a much better player. He got shut down, yeah. By a much better player.
He got shut down.
By Kawhi.
The team needed him bad.
Yeah.
The team needed him bad yesterday, and he got shut down bad.
You can't say anything bad about Kyler Murray. I'm sorry about
Jamal Murray.
You can't say anything bad about Jamal Murray. Listen, that series versus the Jazz, bringing them, over the 3-1 deficit. That's not easy to do.
No, not at all.
That's not. Hey, the clown is always going to be the clown. He's always going. He's always going to be there. Mm-hmm. He's going to give you your 20 points, something like that.
Murray has shown. I think just yesterday's game.
Murray has stepped up.
He has. He's an all-star player, but he is an all-star player. You can't peg him in that next tier, though. You can't peg him in that superstar type role because he showed that he could get shut down.
Is it fair that everyone is comparing Donovan Mitchell to him?
Well, I think they both came in at the league the same time and
they're same tier.
I would say so, yeah. Okay. They duked it out. Basically, those two duked it out in the first round.
Well, Mitchell is the man.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He's
both of them. That series could have went either way.
That's true.
That could have went either way.
That's very true. I put a little bit of blame on Mitchell. You can't lose 3 games in a row in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You can't. That just can't happen. You were up 3-1. If you don't get your team out of that series, the blame got to be on the best guy in the team.
Oh, yeah, period. Of course. You have to take the blame.
That's it. You got to take the blame. I don't want to talk too much about the Jazz because they're out of the playoffs, but I think with everything that happened prior to COVID, I think the chemistry took a hit.
Of course it did, yeah. And Mitchell did his best to carry. He dropped like 50 points.
Yeah, I gotta blame it a little bit on Mitchell because I heard Mitchell was mad at what's his name?
Gobert.
Mm-hmm. Listen, that's it. It's done. You're fine. You got through COVID. You have a private conversation with him. There should have not been any bad blood. Your team was going into playoff mode. You should have had everyone in the same page.
No, I agree.
Now, again, I don't want to keep talking about the Jazz, but I don't like how their point guard again goes in to a leave because he's having his first baby or whatever. But that was messed up. Mm-hmm. Your team needs you the most right now. I get it. It is family always comes first.
Yeah.
But it's not like it was a dangerous situation kind of, you know what I mean?
No, I know
it's giving birth. You're going to miss birth, but, you might be making history on the other hand. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I don't want to.
Either way, they weren't beating the Clippers anyway.
That is true. That's true. So I don't want to go into too much on the Jazz. But who do you see coming out of that series, Denver or the Clippers?
Well, obviously the Clippers. Denver is a nice story, and they play tough all the time. But Clippers have shown how deep they are.
Do you see the series going over 6 games?
No, I'll let Denver take one more, but I think Clippers will close it out in 6.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right, Lakers, Houston. It has been a very interesting series.
It has been.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, these are 2 completely different teams. Lakers like to play big.
Houston likes to play small.
Yeah, exactly. They play small. And I think it caught the Lakers off guard exactly. Even LeBron said how fast they played. How fast they get up the floor, how quick they're willing to shoot threes.
Are you disappointed with Westbrook in the last game?
Oh, he looked terrible. He looked lost. He even said he looked lost. Yeah.
Bad.
His jump shot was everywhere. Every time he touched the ball, he was either driving into 4 guys, turning it over.
And I think this is the problem that's going to be with Houston again versus the Lakers. I think Houston can beat the Lakers. I don't see the Lakers being much greater than Houston. But it all comes down to Russell Westbrook. Because when he takes those shots in the fourth quarter.
But the thing was, they were open shots. He was getting good looks. He was just ice cold.
He's not making them.
Yeah,
so when you miss so many shots, do you keep taking the damn shots, or do you do what you do best and drive to the basket?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. That's very true. You got big dudes waiting for you in the basket.
Exactly. That makes a big difference.
You got AD, you got LeBron, Howard.
He got tossed a few times by LeBron.
Yes.
I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. I mean, it's hard to get in there against LA.
That's what you're good at. Mm-hmm. That's why they call
Draw some fouls, get something going. They needed it that game. They needed it that game bad.
They needed that game bad. They needed that game bad. And again, tonight's game, which again, this episode will be, published tomorrow. So, the game is going to happen today. So, I think it's all going to come down to how Russell Westbrook plays, because the beard is going to be the beard. Everyone around is going to be themselves.
Yep.
It's going to come down to Russell Westbrook. It either can hurt them or either it's going to give them that edge that they need. That's it. It's just that simple. There's not much to break down in these series.
I mean, where do you see the series going? What, Lakers? Do you still have the Lakers in the series?
I can't pick any.
Well, you can. That's your job. That's what.
Very true.
That's what you're on the podcast for. True. What do you mean you can't?
All right. I don't like picking with my heart. That's why I always stop myself when I'm picking with my heart, because I feel like Lakers are not that good as people think they are. And I think Houston can take him, and I'm gonna pick Houston in 7.
Houston in 7. All right. I got the Lakers in 6, just because I think they're bigger. They get to the free throw line more, safer. I mean, Houston's so sporadic. They shoot 53s a game.
They do,
but it works. So sporadic. Does it work? I mean,
it works.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes they go ice cold. They'll have these stretches where they'll go like 0 for 12 from deep in one quarter. Next thing you know, they're down by 20 points. I mean, they're just so sporadic. They shoot so many threes.
When the beard is on,
exactly. But I mean, if they do catch fire, that's the only chance they have with it. But I mean, the Lakers,
and he's on most nights, and that's why it's been working. That's what I want to bring to your attention. We keep saying when he's on, he's 2 out of 3 nights on. Yeah, he's gonna lose some games in this series. He's gonna do his part. I'm worried about Russell Westbrook. And I'm just going to say this. I wish Houston would have kept CP3. I don't know. I think it would have been a better... I know it didn't work for them last year, but,
I mean, they came close each year. They came close. Yeah. Harden and Paul had some chemistry, but,
everyone was so disappointed on them when they didn't take out a weaker Golden State. I feel like that's
of course, yeah, it really,
because everyone was hurt. Clay was out. Steph wasn't 100.
You still have the Rockets winning the series. I think Westbrook's going to come out with a vengeance. I mean, we'll see. Yeah. He's still an MVP caliber player. Again,
this is your job, so
this is an MVP caliber player. I mean, I still think it's going to be Lakers-Clippers next round.
I agree.
But Houston, you can't sleep on them. Obviously, you can't sleep on them.
That's why I picked Houston in 7. Can't sleep on the Lakers, like you said. It's gonna be
Lakers. They worked back Rondo last game, and he actually looked good. He hit the open jumpers, but he created plays.
I was gonna say his jumpers helped the Lakers big time.
You could tell his veteran presence. Each time Houston went to play fast, and the Lakers got the ball, Rondo slowed it down. They said, "Hey, let's give it to AD. I'll
give this to the Lakers. AD has been playing well. The games that they won, it's been a lot of it. It's become because of AD. AD has been playing big for them. So,
he's shown he's a top 3 or 4 player in the league, clearly.
Top 3?
I think so. I mean, look at him.
Okay. Who's your top 2?
Oh, all right.
But this is your job. Let's go.
Right now, I have... See, do you even want to put Giannis in there in the top 2?
Of course you got you. MVP last year, probably MVP
this year, yeah.
What are we talking about? Of course Giannis is there. Do you take LeBron?
Playoff time.
Do you take LeBron over AD? You have to. Do you take KD over AD?
KD can't even be in the discussion right now.
Because he's injured?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's an Achilles injury. I mean, we don't know how he's going to
he's going to come back?
We have no idea how he's going to come back.
I think that's the Chicagoans in us. I think just because of everything that happened with D. Rose and,
But Achilles is a serious basketball injury. Achilles ended Kobe Bryant's career. He got the Achilles at 35.
What age?
Okay, KD's 4 years younger, but still.
Thank you.
Look at DeMarcus Cousins.
He's big.
Achilles.
He got 100 pounds over KD. You can't compare the two. He's got 100 pounds.
I'm just saying
KD.
Achilles is a serious injury. It's probably the worst basketball injury out there, worse than the ACL.
I agree with that, but in today's science, today's technology, every year keeps getting better. And plus, with the money that these athletes are making.
We'll see, but KD's not going to come back the same player. 2 years older from since he last played, coming off Achilles
injury. If he comes back at 80%, I'll still take him over 80.
No,
he can pull up from anywhere. He's 7 feet tall. Are you serious?
No.
7 feet tall.
I'm just saying that 80% KD is not better than 100%.
No one can defend him in the league. Not Kawhi, not Giannis, not no one. No one can defend KD in the league. You cannot tell me you'll take 80 over him.
I would. 7 days out, 7 days out of the week.
All right. That's something. I don't know. I can't agree with that one. All right. So, anything else to add on the NBA before we move into some NFL or?
No, I mean I got nothing else left.
We got some
NBA.
games left, so hopefully.
The Bulls. The Bulls got the number 4 pick. Just a shout out to the Bulls. I mean, they were projected for the 7th, the lottery. They got 4. I mean, who the hell knows they're going to take?
I was watching the draft show. And
the lottery? The lottery?
Because they
the Bulls,
They went to commercial, then they came back.
Yeah, they came back. Maybe.
Please, don't pull out the Bulls. I was like,
but number 4, I mean, I don't know. Okay, that's enough Bulls talk.
It's true.
they're not worth mentioning on a podcast.
4th, I don't know. I mean, if LaMelo...
Did you, just before we leave the NBA, did you like the Steve Nash hiring or for the Brooklyn Nets? It was kind of a shock. I mean,
it didn't make any sense. Okay. I want to be very clear. It's very okay. It's very okay. A lot of people are very opinionated about it. Everyone is like, okay, because he's white, he got the job.
Yeah, Stephen A. That was ridiculous.
I don't want to go that far. I don't want to go that far. But
I mean, when Derek Fisher got a head coaching job with absolutely no head coaching experience, no one was coming out saying that stuff.
Yeah, so. Isaiah Thomas, the same thing with New York Magic Johnson with the Lakers.
That's what I'm saying. So for Stephen A. to say that and come out with the white privilege, I disagreed. I mean, I think the hire was because Nash was part of that, the Golden State coaching staff a little bit, and KD meshed with him very well. Yes. And that was the main reason for it, was his relationship with Kevin Durant.
I agree.
That was the main reason. For you to bring in race and all that kind of bogus, I think it was a little bit ridiculous. I mean, it was clickbait for Stephen A.
I don't think he needs the clickbait.
He does it, but he says those erroneous,
Right.
But I mean, I don't know.
That's what made Skip Bayless, and that's what made Stephen A.
Yeah, of course,
They always come out and say craziest things. Sometimes, it works.
Just for it to work. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was ridiculous, but I mean, point guards in the past have shown that they may probably make the best head coaches out of all the players because they are the floor generals.
I don't know. Then Jason Kidd would be a great coach.
Okay.
I mean, if we're just, this is what I was going to compare it to. This hiring of Steve Nash. I mean, it was okayed by Kyrie. It was okayed by KD.
Exactly.
They were signed up by both players. But I will say that I compare it to Jason Kidd when he got the job in Milwaukee. They a lot of personnel just because they think you're a point guard.
It's Kidd or Derek Fisher or Steve Kerr.
None of these guys really worked out as a great coach. Derek Fisher didn't have a great coaching career.
Well, he also was with the Knicks, no?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's true.
I agree. If you put Steve Kerr in the Knicks, it'd be a whole different story too. You'd be saying he's not a great coach.
I mean, Steve Kerr worked out, but a lot
Steve Kerr turned down the Knicks for the Warriors.
Isaiah Thomas again with the Knicks too, but Magic Johnson wasn't a great coach.
I mean,
So there's a lot of point guards that just because they're point guards and they know how to, run the floor, that doesn't mean they're going to be great coaches.
At least he's going into a good situation. Brooklyn is going to win 45 to 50 games at least next year.
It is my problem with that is that couldn't you just get him an assistant job first? That would have been nice if you would have gotten some assistant experience.
Some little coaching experience. Something.
Just for a year or two.
You would think,
Just for a year or two. When you see, oh God, I'm so bad with names. What's the assistant coach of the Clippers? The guy who coached Cleveland.
I'll look it up. Hold on.
Coach Cleveland for when they won. What the hell?
Tyronn Lue.
Jesus Christ! So we're both having a brain fart.
See, that's
Tyronn Lue should have taken the job.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Jackson would have been a good candidate.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, mm-hmm.
Mark Jackson.
He's been out for a while. Yeah,
he built that Golden State team.
He did. Yeah.
That was his team. It wasn't Steve Kerr's
team.
Steve
slid right on in and said hello.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. No.
At least the thing I like about Steve Kerr, he's very humble. He's never whenever they ask him about all these titles, he'd be like, I'm nothing without these players.
Yes.
Like, I came in at the perfect time. Like,
I love Steve
obviously,
Kerr. He's got the best
very
attitude.
humble guy. You know,
got the best attitude in the league. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Well, that's the NBA news. Let's go into some NFL. Well, breaking news. I am in the same fantasy league.
You did. You slid in.
That's right.
Thank you to Commissioner Alan Ball.
I got to say thanks to Alan. Thank you, Alan, for sending me the invite.
He did. He gave you
short notice, but I'll take it.
You took it.
I'm not the one to shy away from a challenge.
You had a mediocre draft, to say the least. I mean, I would put it at medium. I would give your.
I gotta give. I would give you a
C-.
I gotta give my story.
Still, you knew when the draft was, the time. Now you're making excuses out the
gates.
I'm not
making excuses. Let's be very clear. So what happened was, me and Tim, hopefully a future NFL player very soon.
Timmy two times.
Tim Lucas. You might want to
shout out to Tim Lucas.
Last name there.
Me and Tim Lucas woke up one morning, day of the draft, and we're like, okay, so hold on, okay. So before that, we had a little incident. I have 2 dogs already, and we adopted 2 more dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And please be careful who you adopt the dogs from, because
this was off Craigslist, right?
This was off Craigslist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw a couple pictures just browsing around, and I was in a trip already in San Diego, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna adopt 2 more dogs. And I went and I got the first dog. First gentleman was very nice. Had all the paperwork right and everything.
It's usually a good sign.
Yeah, good sign. And then I went and picked up the second dogs. I was told that they were both, 7 weeks old, from 2 different people. I mean, we got the first dog from a different person. Second dog from a different person.
Mm-hmm.
And the second dog ended up having parvo. When I brought it home, only got worse. Took him to the ER. One night, took him to my dog's vet the next morning, and there wasn't really much we could do. He gave him meds and stuff, and the dog just got worse, and he passed away the next day. Which was very sad, because I just got the dog. I don't care about the money. I don't care how much money I spend in the ER or whatever. That's not a problem.
You left out the best part, that they lied and he was actually 4 weeks old.
Oh, that's the thing.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm saying, be careful, please, where you get your dogs from.
You need,
because
8 weeks.
A lot of these people just want to make a buck. They don't care about these dogs.
Do you remember that girl's name? What was it? A girl's name who sold you.
Yeah, she's going to get hers. Karma is a B.
Karma's coming for
Karma is a B. But anyways, passed away, and we did everything here to make him comfortable. Happy Cathy was up with him for 48 hours, having him in his bed, just trying to nurse him back to health. And he ended up passing away. So that was the night before the draft. I know how weird it went.
Got a little shook.
I did. Then we go back the day of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Alan told me the day before that I could be part the fantasy. I could have my fantasy team with you guys, and decided to take it on. The next day I woke up. We buried the dog the same day, and the next day we woke up, me and Tim, and we're like, let's go to Mexico. So I ended up just driving me and him to Mexico.
Just to kind of forget things,
just
right?
Forget things. Yeah, exactly. I was in a bad place. I didn't want to go into a depression kind of mode. So I was
blow off some steam.
Yeah, because even though I had him only for a couple of days, but
you really love dogs. Dogs really get to you.
I do.
So.
I do. I really love.
And with the second puppy here too.
Love dogs.
We were worried about her.
So we were worried about her. We got her tested. She tested negative for parvo. But anyways, I went to Mexico with him, and then in Mexico, when the draft was going, my data wasn't working well. So I ended up drafting
because you're in Mexico.
Exactly.
Okay, that's why your data wasn't working.
Hey, listen, if you see our Airbnb where we were, it was a nice Airbnb right off the beach.
But when I look at your fantasy team,
that's right. Hold on. So my fantasy team is not as bad as you make it sound.
I said it's mediocre. So I gave you the draft grade of a C-.
A lot of players have to like
C-.
So I have Fournette, which I'm hoping Fournette is not going to be.
Fournette's a wild card.
It is a wild card.
So
we don't know if it's going to be good. We don't know if it's going to be bad. It just my season. I have Pat Mahomes as my quarterback. I have.
You have a few good pieces.
I do. I have a few pieces, but I think my season is gonna come down to how Fournette plays. So we'll see how that comes down to.
Gotta stay active on that waiver wire, man.
I do gotta stay up on that waiver. Yeah.
Gotta be up to date on it.
That's very true.
Gotta be checking it daily.
Yep. So it's my first season. Like I sent them a cute text me. They have a group message, and I was like, I just hope the French guy doesn't come and. Just win the league out of nowhere. It's like,
no one's worried.
No one was like, yes,
no one's worried.
No one was sweating it too much. I was like, whatever. So we'll see how that season goes. So you got some Odell Beckham news.
I don't have Odell. I don't have Odell Beckham.
Weird.
I don't have Odell Beckham news.
What happened? Remember, this is your job now.
Some woman came out who slept with Odell and said he likes to get shit on. I don't fucking know, man. It's terrible. Why this isn't even news? Why is this news? I don't understand why this is news.
Wait, let me ask him. Does it affect the way he plays?
I don't know.
Maybe the last couple of years. I don't know.
Oh my God, I don't even know. Is that news? Is that really news?
It is.
I mean that's what's in the news these days, All this shit going on in the world, and Odell likes to get shit on. It's a top headline.
Wait,
what's wrong with America?
Can you get COVID-19 through that?
Oh, man.
Can you get coronavirus through that?
Through shit?
I don't know. We got to check that out.
Maybe.
Let's go.
Why don't you ask Johnny Manziel what coronavirus is?
If you haven't watched it, please go watch the Johnny Manziel TMZ interview he just did.
It's really a great interview. It looks like they just interviewed him right outside the bar.
He did.
Right
he came out smoking cigarettes. They were asking about the XFL, and they were like, do you feel like the coronavirus? Or they asked him like something about coronavirus, and he was like, "What the hell is coronavirus? Coronavirus." He was like, "I've done worse shit on a weekday than coronavirus." So shout out to Johnny Manziel.
Still kicking it.
He's still kicking it. He is. When I saw that, I was like, dude, this guy's a gangster.
Yeah,
he's a gangster.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
All right. So let's go into some NFL. Let's go into some real news. Some real news. No new news. This is just some predictions.
Okay.
There's not really much news going in the NFL besides that it's hopefully game 1 is going to be this Thursday. So we're very excited about it. We're going to be talking a lot of fantasy, you and I.
Of course.
I'm not so great at fantasy. I'm going to call myself
You'll learn, though.
But I'm going to learn. Danny Blue Eyes is great at fantasy.
You could all learn, too.
He was. He placed second last year to a Timothy Lucas.
Yeah. Tim should never won the league. That was a disgrace. That was a disgrace.
He told me how it happened.
He
barely made it to the playoffs
by 1 point, and then just
and then started whooping everyone.
Whooping? I wouldn't go by whooping.
Well, he beat everyone.
Yeah. Other teams got hurt, and he kind of snuck into the ship. But it is what it is.
That's what you need sometimes. You need luck.
You do. You need luck in fantasy. You try. Yeah, exactly.
Well, just a reminder, people, if you've gotten this far in this show, it will be a big help if you guys give us a little subscribe, a little like.
Come on, we've been doing it for a month.
If you feel a little generous, a little comment, Danny Blue Eyes needs to silk his 9 to 5.
Still a long way to go on.
Still a long way to go.
But we're inching closer. We are inching closer.
Listen, I'm so proud of everything we've done so far. It's been getting better and better and better and better.
We are, yeah. Compared to our first videos.
I'm so happy with the guests I've been bringing in. I've been able to bring in a surgeon, someone who works for the Trump campaign. We had fun with Sheldon breaking sports. We brought a medium. So I love
doing this. It's been a wide variety.
I am having fun with this.
Had a UFC fighter.
Yes.
We had
UFC fighter, not UFC fighter, an MMA fighter that hopefully is going to break it in the UFC very soon. So, we had a lot of great guests. Me and Dan like to break sports for you guys the way we do. You might not like it, but if you do, please give us a little thumbs up. Give us a little comment. Tell us how we're doing. If anything we need to work on, that's fine. But going back into the NFL, who's gonna be okay? So let's go about our Bears because we have to discuss that. Sadly,
what the fuck?
Trubisky?
What the hell?
Was
won the
named
job.
starter? Yep.
Shame.
Is it though?
Is it though?
I mean, listen, he's trash, but it's not like okay.
The thing is, we
man.
traded a 4th round pick.
We keep talking about that. That's done. We can't keep talking about it.
But
we're done.
We did that.
No.
We're not done.
No.
We're not done because we did this
happened
so he
ago.
could start. It didn't happen years
Yeah,
ago.
and then he turned out to be a bust. It happens.
It's not a bust.
He's a bust. He's a bust then.
But why would you trade a 4th round pick and pay this guy $21 million
because that's what
to be a backup? When you could have signed Cam Newton for $1 million and traded nobody.
I don't think Cam. Hold up. I don't think Cam Newton would have signed for that price with the Bears. He signed for that price because he's going to play under Belichick. Let's be very clear about that.
Okay, then triple that. Give him $3-4 million. It's still a lot less than the $21 million we committed to Nick Foles.
That's true.
Why in the blue hell? The only reason
Do you think they should have went for Phillip Rivers?
They should have went for anybody.
Not Nick Foles.
If Nick Foles can't even beat out Mitch Trubisky, why the hell did we trade a draft pick and pay him this money? Did we only do that because we wanted competition for Trubisky? We wanted someone that could push Trubisky but not overtake the starting job. I mean, is that what we wanted?
Yeah.
I mean, is that it? I mean, it basically shows that we haven't given up on Trubisky yet. We're still hoping for the best. But
is there any version where Trubisky comes out as the man after the last couple of seasons? After the last season? Because he's been tested in every different way. And
every way. The only way I see him being successful is if he starts using his legs more. He has to. That 2018 year, 2 years ago, when the Bears went 12-4, he had 500 rushing yards. He was scrambling. He was moving in the pocket. He looks scared. He has happy feet. His mechanics go everywhere. But when he's an athlete, he's 6'4", 220, 30 pounds, and he moves well. When he gets outside the pocket and he's moving and he's rushing, that's when he's at his best. So Nagy has to freaking swallow his pride and draw up something where he's running these read options, where he's running more. If he gets hurt, who gives a shit? Put in Nick Foles. But the best Trubisky, if we're going to maximize his potential.
Is this his last year on the contract?
Yeah, it's his last year.
So it's Trubisky's going to be gone. It's going to be a make or break for him. And I told you, when you texted me, Trubisky's got the starting role, I was like, dude, if he sneezes the wrong way.
Of course, yeah. He's on a very short leash. And it doesn't help that Nick Foles only had 3 weeks of practices due to Corona. No preseason games.
I agree.
Learning a new playbook. I mean...
Is that why maybe Trubisky got the starting role?
I'm sure. I mean, Trubisky has worked with these receivers the past few years. It's the same playbook.
Right.
I mean...
Do you think they're going in the way where they're starting Trubisky for 2-3 weeks and then maybe bringing in Nick Foles? Is that possibility?
I do, but I mean, look who they open up with. They play the Lions, then they play the Giants. I mean...
So it should be a win-win game.
It should be.
It should be.
I mean, Detroit and New York?
Yeah,
I mean...
It's a joke.
Come on.
I mean,
we're not... I mean, but with our defense, we should win those games handily.
I got a couple Detroit Lions in my team, so please, in my fantasy, so please, don't be a complete joke.
But, I mean, Trubisky's leash has to be really, really short. It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. I mean... It's still disappointing that I have to watch him play QB again.
It's disappointing that the QB we missed on won a Super Bowl just this past year. And not only that, he might go down in history as one of the best to ever do it.
And not even that. You have Deshaun Watson, too, who's a Pro Bowl quarterback, who I still think he's
I know we keep talking about Watson because we missed on Watson, but we can't compare a Pat Mahomes to a Watson. I'm sorry. To me, they're incomparable.
Yeah, as of right now, but Watson
I'm not saying one is great and one is not great. Both of them are. One is just...
Well, Mahomes is a special, once-a-generation talent.
Yeah.
I mean, Watson's still a pretty hell of a good player.
Absolutely.
And he's only 3 years in the league.
Absolutely.
My argument is either one of those guys...
would have worked great for the Bears.
I'd say it's a dynasty.
With the defense...
We made the playoffs with Mitch Trubisky as our starter. That's how good our defense is.
Yeah.
That is how good. If you take an average QB, I'm saying a top 15 QB in the league, and put it on our team, we're a Super Bowl contender with our defense.
So do you think if the Bears don't make it to the playoffs again this year, Are we going into another rebuild where we fire Nagy and get rid of the defense and get rid of everyone?
I mean, I don't know what else you could do. What the hell else are you supposed to do?
So we're gonna suck for the next 5 to 10 years again?
Dude, if you don't have a quarterback, you're nothing. And the Bears have proven that time and time again.
Well,
what's the point of
when
having
was the last time we had a great QB though?
We've never had a great QB.
Exactly.
We've never had a great QB.
We made it to a Super
and that's why
Bowl
we made
game
one
with
Super Bowl.
Rex Grossman.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So the game has changed.
The game has changed. It's a passing league now.
Yes, it is.
You're passing 40, 50 times a day. So that's regular.
Yeah, you can't make it with a Rex Grossman's leg to a Super Bowl game anymore. No. You can't.
No.
You just can't.
Not at all.
So
I mean, maybe you could go the Tennessee Titans route where you just pound the ball, keep control of the clock, give Derrick Henry 40 carries a game, and make sure that the team doesn't get the ball. Mm-hmm. But the Bears didn't even do that last year.
No.
They still passed it 40 times a game.
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense. So hopefully Nagy adjusts. Hopefully he knows Trubisky is the best.
I think this is Nagy's last year if he doesn't make a noise. I think Nagy's going to get fired. I think Nagy should have gotten fired last year.
No, not at all.
No?
No.
I mean, come on. Look some of the blame on him at all?
Look what he did. I mean, he went 12-4, then 8-8. So what is that? 20-12 in 2 years. And look who he's working with. This guy shouldn't even be in the league.
I agree.
He can't even hit a basic guy in an out.
I agree. I think with the defense we have, then who gets the blame? Management?
Yeah, look at Ryan Pace. Look at him sitting there in his stupid, fancy-ass office taking Trubisky over Mahomes or Watson.
Yeah.
And then what does he do? He signs freaking Nick Foles, who can't even beat him out.
Yeah, no,
I don't get it.
That's true. Do you think Nagy had a say in that Nick Foles pick?
I think he definitely did because he worked with Nick Foles in Kansas City and Philadelphia.
Right.
So he was very comfortable with the offense that Nagy runs.
Right.
Nick Foles, he's
so if you're bringing Nick Foles and you're going to start him, I'm thinking he's going to start him by week 3 or week 4. That's what I'm thinking. Like you said, the coronavirus had something to do with it. He only practiced with the squad.
Of course, I think it definitely did. Yeah,
for the last 3 weeks. So
he just moved from his home in Los Angeles to Chicago.
Right.
He just had a new kid. I'm sure he didn't practice much this summer, and I think the rush showed on Nick Foles.
Right.
But I don't think either of these guys is our savior. I still think they should have took a 1-year deal, throw Cam a couple million, and see if he could be healthy again. Why not? You have that defense.
I agree.
Why not
take a flyer on Cam? I think they should have went for Cam or even Phillip Rivers. I think would have been an okay pick.
Yeah,
I know Phillip Rivers can get a little, over the head sometimes.
Of course, but he's still a competitor. He's still, a top 20 QB in the league.
I agree.
I
think it was a mistake for the Chargers not to sign Phillip Rivers for another year so they get their new QB, because it's new pickup. Yeah. You don't know if he's going to start right away or not. I don't know if
they didn't want to pay him again. The Colts paid him two-year contract, $40 million.
There you go. So they want to save the money. So, we'll see. Well, that's going to be interesting, too. It's going to be a very interesting season.
It is. We don't know how it's going to pan out.
All right, so who's your top 4 favorites besides, the Chiefs?
Obviously, if we're making Super Bowl predictions right now, you have to put it, the Chiefs are in their own separate tier.
I agree.
They have 11 of the 12.
It is what scares me about the Chiefs. Does the defense concern you at all?
The defense concerned me at the beginning of last year, but they made great strides. Even near the end of last year, they're actually one of the top 10 defense the last 6 or 7 weeks of the season.
Okay.
I'm not really more worried about the defense because they don't need to be a top 10 unit.
True.
They just need to be average or slightly below average, and they're going to be in every single game. Mm-hmm. Kansas City, they have the same offensive core, Tyreek Hill, they have Kelsey, they got Mecole Hardman, they got hella speed. Mm-hmm. They drafted a first-round running back and, Edwards-Helaire from LSU. So I think they're going to be even stronger on offense. They're going to be even stronger.
So you're saying
right now I'm saying
Chiefs are
the Chiefs
okay.
and then the field. Okay. I think it's very even at that.
Wow.
That's how strong I feel about the Chiefs. I don't think we've seen this dominant. This is a potential dynasty with the Chiefs. They have all their pieces in order. And their defense is average, but that's fine. They don't need it to be anything.
So who's your top 3? Are they still Bucks, Baltimore kind of?
Well, obviously put the Chiefs as number 1. That's clear cut. You still have to put Baltimore in there at number 2. They had a hell of a year. Obviously, they kind of fluked out in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And then,
Not fluked out. Experience had something to do with it.
Yeah.
I think.
No, yeah, of course it did. I still think I know a lot of people compare Lamar Jackson to, Michael Vick, but I really do think he is
Michael Vick 3.0, not even.
I really do think Lamar Jackson is a better player than Michael Vick overall, and he showed that. He's a unanimous MVP. Of course, he could throw the ball. He's still pretty accurate, but you know what? He still runs recklessly. Like, you see him, he doesn't slide a lot. He's spinning, he's juking. He would have
been a great running back too.
Of course. He did not take a lot of big hits last year, luckily, but he's got to learn how to slide or get out of bounds more. Yeah. Because they need him.
Yeah.
They need him. And it's shown time and time again.
And that toughness can be a bad
thing. But for the amount he ran last year, you got to be careful, man. You are that whole entire... And that's the only knock on him is just he doesn't slide, he doesn't go out of bounds. But he's a hell of a player, and I'd put Baltimore at number 2, and then those are the top AFC teams. I think the NFC is completely up for grabs. You have the Saints, you have to put in there. Drew looked old at the end of last year, but they have the same exact squad, and I feel like you're going to get consistency with Drew Brees. In the NFC...
I don't think New Orleans is going to make a noise. I think they're going to make it to the playoffs. I think they're going to do the same thing they've been doing the last couple of years.
Lose around second round. But in the NFC, you could put the Saints in the Super Bowl. I really do like the Seahawks. Russell Wilson.
I think this is Drew Brees last year.
Could be, it could be.
It could be.
You got the Seahawks, you have the Niners. I even think the Cowboys will make some noise. Obviously...
I'm not saying yes or no. It depends. With their whole situation with Dak and...
I know, but the thing is, they have the talent. They have the talent. They have a top 3 running back that Dak, could be an MVP this year. They have
who?
Dak Prescott.
Could be MVP?
I do. I think he could be MVP.
That's a big statement.
I think he's going to throw for at least 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns.
You don't even like Dak that much. What the hell happened?
But look, he has Amari Cooper. He has Michael Gallup. They just drafted CeeDee Lamb, who is a beast at Oklahoma. And, of course, he has Ezekiel Elliott and, a top 10 offensive line. There's no excuses for him. He's going to put up buku stats. He's going over 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns. If that defense holds up, I think, you have to put them in the conversation, at least to come out the NFC.
I think Dallas could be a great team or a really bad team.
Dallas always find a way to mess it up. Yeah, which they have in the future, in the past.
They always do.
Yep,
I feel like they're going to be that, 8-8 team again.
What they usually end up. They have way too much talent for 8-8, and I think the problem was, Jason Garrett was
last year.
Jason Garrett, the former past head coach, he was a poster boy of mediocrity. That's what he did. 9-7, 8-8 every single year. They got him out of there. Mike McCarthy.
Do you like the new coach? Do you see a fit over there?
I think he'll be better than Jason Garrett. I
agree.
He won a Super Bowl with Green Bay. He got fired.
He hasn't been relevant for a long.
I know he hasn't been relevant.
Many years.
I think the Super Bowl. I think a new voice besides Jason Garrett's going to do them well. We'll see.
I agree.
They have too much talent not to do well.
I think Jason
too much talent.
I think Jason Garrett should have been fired 2-3 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
It was like every single year he was in a hot seat.
Yeah.
But then he was able to win 2 games and then keep the job.
It was close with Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And,
that's what it came down to. It came down to he was very close.
Relationship with Jerry Jones.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Just a little bit of technical difficulties. Sorry for that. We were talking about the Cleveland Browns. I was asking you if you think they're going to be a threat this year.
I do think
they're different than last
year. The thing is, I think they're going to be a little bit better because obviously they added 2 offensive line starters. They added a top 7 or 8 tight end in Austin Hooper. Mm-hmm. But that division they're in is tough.
Scary. It's very scary.
Baltimore obviously is a favorite, but I don't want to sleep on Pittsburgh either. Yep. They finished 8-8, 9-7 last year.
Yep.
And statistically, they actually had the worst quarterback play, worse than the Bears, which is hard to believe.
I agree.
They went through Mason Rudolph. They went through Duck Hodges.
Yeah.
That defense is scary. Now you get a veteran back in Big Ben Roethlisberger. He doesn't have too many weapons, but if you won 8-9 games last year with that defense and that worst QB play, even if Big Ben is a top 15 quarterback, you have to think they're going to make a lot of noise.
A lot of noise. They're going to make noise.
I see them as almost a 10-win team. I have them right around 9.5, 10 wins.
Okay, fine. So if you had to pick right now, would you give the edge to Pittsburgh? Would you give the edge to the Browns?
Oh, definitely Pittsburgh. I see that division.
Pittsburgh.
I see that division as Baltimore 1, Pittsburgh a close 2, and then the Browns 3.
Okay.
Maybe they could sneak in 3 play. I mean, the Browns could win 9 games and sneak into playoffs because they actually added an extra playoff team this year. It's 7 teams now, each conference. But I don't know. I can't see the Browns winning that division. There's too much talent there. Unless if Baker Mayfield really steps up and goes to, that all-pro level, which he has the pieces, he has the protection, he has the running back. I mean, Cleveland is loaded on offense. If Baker really makes huge strides, then they have a chance. But from what he's shown, especially last year where he struggled, he's shown he's small, his arm talent wasn't, it didn't look good for Baker for last year, for me at least, watching it on film.
I'm scared when it comes to Baker. I'm scared. I don't know, man. It's not looking good.
We'll see. I think we'll have a lot better
If he's having another sucky season,
it's not good, yes. Especially because this year he has no excuses. You have Odell, you have Landry, you have Hooper,
an excuse last
you have
year.
Chubb. The offensive line was terrible last year. The offensive line was a mess. The coaching situation was a mess. Playbook. So, he had a little bit of excuses last year, I think, but I don't know. I peg him around an 8 or 9 win team.
I hope we're going to get a Baker Mayfield without that sucky attitude of his.
Hey, from what I've heard so far, he has not been responding anything. He's like, let my play do my talking, let my play. So I think he's focused this year, but that division's tough.
Any more attitude out of that kid.
Division's tough.
Play good, and maybe we can handle that. But when you're playing the way you're playing, I don't want to see any crap from you. That's for sure. Okay. Now, who are your sleeper teams?
Sleeper teams? All right.
Give me 2. All
right. Well, clearly what I was talking about, about Pittsburgh. I really do think Pittsburgh, could catch people by surprise.
Okay.
I could see them as a 10-win team. Another sleeper team. I don't think the Seahawks are a sleeper team, but I do think they're really strong.
Yeah.
I think you have Lockett and Metcalf. Metcalf is going to make
that
big
actually fits
outside.
a sleeper team well because
the 49ers are favored to win that division. But people forget that Seattle Seahawks would have been the number 1 seed if it wasn't for half a yard in that 49ers game. If they were half a yard away from being the 1 seed, which makes a huge difference. I wouldn't put them as a sleeper team, but I do think they're going to make a lot of noise in the NFC.
I agree. All right. That's our NFL news. We're going to move in briefly to tennis just because of the
Novak,
incident that happened with Novak Djokovic. Please, if you haven't seen it, go check it out because it's ridiculous. And by the way, coming from a guy who is not a fan of...
You're not a Novak fan
I hate that I have to sit here and actually defend him. So I'm not really too happy about that. Okay, so, it's the U.S. Open. What was it? What round was it?
Fourth round?
Yeah,
fourth round matchup.
Fourth round, whatever.
Yeah, we're getting close, yeah.
Novak is, turns around and throw the ball.
Yeah, he got frustrated.
When you say it this way, it sounds like he was pissed and he threw the ball, but it wasn't. When you're done with the play and you're going to your seat or whatever.
He wasn't pissed, but he was frustrated with the way the match was going so far.
Okay, but he didn't throw it hard.
Not at all. No, not at all.
When he was just being careless. I can't even give him...
It was careless, yeah.
It wasn't careless, Dan. He barely threw the ball. He threw it with the racket great. he didn't swing the racket. He threw the ball with the racket, hit someone in the
in the neck,
the neck.
So if it would have hit someone in the stomach or the knee...
It would have been okay.
It would have been okay.
Oh, just
but
because
since he accidentally...
And he gets disqualified.
I don't want to say anything on the ball girl, but she really did sell it.
She sold it, man. She pulled a DeMarcus cousin in there. Jesus.
Who knows how hurt she was. She was holding her neck laying there. I'm the ball was going 10 miles an hour.
She got an extra bonus or something?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe she had money against Novak.
Maybe.
Imagine how happy it would be if you bet on the winner of the tournament not to be Novak. You'd be like, oh... Because he was favored by a landslide. Yes. Federer and Nadal weren't in the tournament, so who was next?
It was a close game. It was a good game.
It was first set.
It was first set.
Yeah, of course.
But
I don't understand. And they discussed it for 10 minutes. So obviously they had to see the replay of the thing.
Okay.
How do you kick someone out of the tournament?
First of all, let's discuss the problems with the situation. You're doing the U.S. Open during very weird times. a lot of the big name, marquee names, whatever, they decided not to come play in the U.S. Open.
So the ratings are already way down.
So the ratings are taking a big hit. The biggest name you got there is Novak Djokovic.
Exactly, the biggest name.
That's
by
the
far,
biggest name by far.
I guarantee you, casual tennis. I mean, just neutral point of people don't know anyone after.
Right. They know who Novak.
They won't know Dominic Thiem or Medvedev, or they wouldn't know the top
very
other guys.
well, but everyone knows who Djokovic is.
Exactly,
because he will go down, whether we like him or not. He will go down as one of the best to ever do it.
The greatest. He will go down as the greatest.
Okay, well, there's an argument there, but anyways,
come on, he's 3 away from Federer.
I'm not going to give him the greatest over Federer. I'm not going to.
What happened if he passes in the majors?
I'm not even going to put him. Well, we'll talk about it when
he's only 3 away.
We'll talk about it when he gets there.
And no one's stopping him anytime soon.
But right now, I think he's been stopped lately. I think the injury.
He won 5 out of the last 7 majors.
No, but I'm saying he hasn't been playing the same even before Corona in the last couple playoffs. So I mean, last couple tournaments. But anyways, going back to this issue that happened in the U.S. Open, you got a lot of marquee names that are not coming to your tournaments, and then not only that you disqualify him, you take away his purse. You take everything that he won, the $250,000 he won in the first couple of rounds.
Yep. Exactly.
That's not a good look.
No.
That's not a good look.
And the thing was, he apologized right after
he did. He was very apologetic.
He was. Yeah. On Instagram, he wasn't even... what he posted was, professional too.
And even after he left the game and they hit him with everything, he was still being respectful.
He wasn't pissed at the decision or anything like that.
Yeah.
He just kept apologizing. I don't think he meant it at all.
It's a bad look.
Why? You have Nick Kyrgios who's yelling at umpires, slamming his rackets, and he never got kicked out of the match.
Yeah.
And then you have the number one moneymaker here, Novak Djokovic, one of the greatest champions of all time.
And I love Nick Kyrgios' game, by the way, but he does get over his head sometimes too.
Sometimes? Every single
That's
tournament.
why people love him, but and I agree. And he gets disqualified from time to time, but this should have not happened to Novak.
Should have been. It was clear. I understand if it was intentional. If he turned at the person and slammed it, then we understand. Yeah. That makes no sense.
Go and watch it so you can understand what happened. Just put Novak.
I don't even want to watch the rest of the U.S. Open now.
No, it's done. It's done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I mean, there's going to be a first-time winner of a tennis major for the first time since, I think, 2014. But who really cares right now?
Yeah, no one. Because, Federer's not playing. Nadal's not playing. Djokovic's
it was shameful.
Not playing.
Yeah, it was shameful.
It's been a shameful tournament. It's just, whatever. And they definitely did not handle it the right way. I mean, I saw the manager, or whatever they call him, the manager of the game or whatever, talking after game. And it was like, we want to treat everyone the same, and
I understand that.
I get that, and that's fine. But you guys made a bad call. Period. That's what it is.
Period.
You can explain it however you want, but you still made a bad call, and you punished him the wrong way.
Exactly. I don't know.
The punishment does not fit the crime at all.
Whether
when you're talking about the disqualification, or we're talking about the purse, or the treatment, or everything, it does not fit the crime. And like I said, I'm hating this because I have to defend someone I don't like.
Yeah, you don't like.
I don't like, but I still, you gotta call it. You gotta
imagine if me and you played in the U.S. Open, how many times we get disqualified? How many times we would get disqualified?
I don't think we'll ever make it
past the first round.
Past the first round. Wait, what? Oh Jesus! All right. Some soccer news.
All right.
Suarez maybe to Juve, or I think he already signed with Juve.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about this before I go into Messi and Barca and what the hell Barca is trying to do. I don't get it. Suarez to Juve. You just got rid of Higuain. You send Higuain away. You cut him. You don't even trade for him or nothing. You just cut him completely. You get rid of Khedira, which is fine. But then you get rid of Higuain and you get Suarez.
Is there really much of a change there?
What? No.
They're both forwards that are kind of past their prime. Very similar in style. I mean, what is Suarez now? 33? I mean,
he's 33 years old.
33. Yeah, 33. So
Suarez is 33.
He's lost a step.
What are you doing?
He's lost a step.
Why are you... Okay. It is Juve's problem. Your problem is not winning the Italian league. Your problem is winning the Champions League. Beating Inter, beating Napoli, beating AC Milan has not been a problem for you. It's beating the big boys in the Champions League. You can't even get past Lyon.
Yeah. Sad.
You can't even get past Lyon, and Ronaldo is in your squad. And I know Madrid lost with Ronaldo to Lyon before in the past. I'm with you. But you're trying to make your squad better, not get rid of Higuain and get Suarez. What is Suarez going to do for you that Higuain didn't give you?
Can't see much of an upgrade there. You can't see much of an upgrade.
And how is Suarez and Ronaldo going to fit in the same team?
Seems like Juve's missing like those dynamic, young, exciting players. Look at PSG. You got Mbappe. Look at look at Atletico. Like you got these young, exciting players on the wing.
Yes.
Like I'm talking 19, 20 years old, budding superstars.
I agree.
And they're putting a Band-Aid on it, saying, "Oh, we signed Suarez." No, he's a 33-year-old. He lost a step.
By the way, an older Ronaldo is still a great player,
of course.
But you gotta surround him with the right pieces. Your problem as Juve has not been winning the Italian league. You wanna win a Champions League really bad. This is why you bring a Ronaldo to your team. Yep. You brought Ronaldo.
But
great.
They didn't get the Real Madrid Ronaldo.
No, stop. Ronaldo right now is still a great player.
Of course.
It's still a great player.
He's still a step slower than Madrid.
That's fine.
Okay.
But we're talking about maybe, arguably with Messi, the two best players to ever do it.
Of course, yeah.
Ever. But not even by close, by far. And I'm a big Zinedine Zidane fan, and I'm not even going to put him in the same atmosphere as Ronaldo and Messi. I won't. But when you get Ronaldo, even at a step slower than he was in Madrid, and I don't think he's at a step slower, I think the fit wasn't right.
Okay.
I think Ronaldo did.
I mean, he's still producing, but he's not producing at the levels
because again,
we're used to. Yeah.
Madrid built that team completely around Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm.
They put Marcelo, who's super fast, right behind him.
Exactly.
They put Bale on the other side, who's super fast.
Electric,
they put Benzema on the middle, up top, who doesn't always shoot first.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to pass.
Yeah.
So with Benzema having the ball, passing it to Ronaldo, always scoring it on the wing, it worked perfect. Juve didn't do that. They didn't just to go play around Ronaldo. If you want to win a Champions League, Suarez is not the answer.
No, not at all.
Suarez is not
6 years
the
ago.
answer. Yeah, maybe 6 years ago. Maybe when he just got out of Liverpool, maybe you could have made an argument.
It seems like all these other teams in Europe are getting better and Juve's staying the same.
Yeah. You guys are going to win the Italian League again next year. Congratulations.
And then lose in the round of 16.
And then you guys are going to lose the round of 16, maybe of 8.
Depending on the draw.
Yes.
And that's what it seems like.
I agree. You cannot compete with that team against a Bayern. Look what they did to Barca. You can't compete with a team like that against a team like Liverpool.
And the thing you got to give credit with Bayern is obviously they've always been in the conversation for maybe about 1 or 2 years. They dipped just a little bit, but what did they do? They regrouped and brought in more exciting players. I mean, they even brought in, they went to the U.S. and brought in Alphonso Davies from the MLS.
Who's super fast.
What? He's 18 years old. Obviously, in Europe, he's not a huge name.
Yeah.
But what did they do?
But I think it's the future.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
He's so fast.
Building the
but
future.
He's electric.
Even
he breaks down defenses.
And we know how Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he doesn't like saying good stuff about, opponents.
No.
And he said something nice about him. He said he's got a great future in Europe. Bayern goes in and they scout. They got rid of Robben, Ribéry.
Exactly.
They got rid of these guys. They went and got new kids.
They dipped for 1 year.
What's that Canadian guy? The guy who's been playing amazing right now. They have this Canadian kid, man. Oh my God.
The Davies guy.
Yeah, the Davies guy.
Yeah, Davies. Yeah. Where he's playing left back, but he pushes forward a lot. Yeah, that's the guy who's playing in Vancouver for the MLS.
Yeah.
Davies. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a beast.
So you thought there was going to be
He's not a big name. He's becoming a big name.
Yeah, he's becoming a big name. Exactly. Yeah.
He made a noise in this Champions
I'd like to
League.
see him and Mbappe race.
Those
two would.
That would be
lightning.
Fun
Right?
That would be a fun race. I don't think Madrid are going to get them Mbappe this year, which we're going to be sad. I think Madrid are getting rid of Bale this year. I think there is, I think Tottenham.
You've seen it coming, yeah.
It's time, and just I don't think he should leave. But if you're not getting along with Zidane, it's just no need for you there. They already got rid of James Rodriguez. He signed for Everton. Bale going to Tottenham or Man U would be a good move for Bale. I don't want the book to be closed on Bale. I think he's got a lot of football left in him. He just
still got a few good years.
Absolutely. He just got to find the right fit. And I think Tottenham under Mourinho or Man U would be a good
Premier
fit
League
for
would
him.
love to see him come back.
Absolutely.
I'm sad to
And
see him
he fit
leave.
great in the Premier League.
Oh, yeah.
Sadly, Hazard has still been a bust. I'm hoping next year is going to be different.
I mean, new team, first year. I mean,
yeah, no, you need to adjust a lot quicker than
like
that.
get going. It's time. Especially for the money they paid for him. Yeah.
You know what? I never want to put the money on the players because let's remember something. It's not the players that get that money. It's the clubs. The players still get paid, like Dan said, buku money. I mean, they still got to agree on their salary and stuff. But, I mean, the money goes to the club. So I don't want to put in that price tag as why he needs to do better. But he needs to do better because of his experience. And you're playing for the biggest club in the world. No excuses. You can't show up to training camp being overweight.
No.
We just can't.
No.
I'm sorry. You can't. So he needs to step it up because I loved watching Hazard. I was one of the biggest guys who wanted Hazard to come to Madrid.
Yeah, you were.
I was
talking
rooting
about it
for it,
yeah,
and I thought it was going to be great. It has been a bad bust right now, but let's see. Let's see what he does next year. All right, Messi, Barca, big problems. Barca got big problems. After that whooping they got in Bayern.
God, that was a whooping.
That was a whooping.
I had to like triple check my phone when I saw the score. I was like, yeah, I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, holy cow.
And it wasn't even fun to watch anymore. It was like, a varsity team playing versus freshman scrubs.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty. It was not pretty to watch.
Yeah, Bayern put the hammer down on them.
Barca needs to go into a complete rebuild. If Messi doesn't want to be there, you gotta let him go.
So realistically, Messi is going to be there for what, one more season, and then he's out.
Because he was promised that if you're not happy by the end of the year, you could leave.
Yeah.
The president himself promised him that. Because of everything that happened with coronavirus, it pushed the season after June 10th. There were La Liga games going. And right after that, the Champions League games were going as well. He decides to leave, and he was like, nope, we're not going to let you leave because it's past June 10th. That's a dirty, dirty play. To not only the best player you ever had in your organization,
oh yeah,
but arguably the best player that ever touched a football. That's a dirty, dirty play. You don't want a guy like that having a sour taste, leaving a club like Barcelona.
It's sad to see how it's going to end, especially how great he's done.
And Messi was like, I'm not going into courts.
Yeah.
One more year? I'll give you one more year.
Yeah, just one more year, yeah.
But when you get a player in this mindset, you're not going to get the best Messi.
Not at all.
You're not.
It's just a weird, reporters are going to be asking him
and
every single game.
And you're souring that taste for him and the fans.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't...
You're cheering for a guy that you know is going to leave. It's just an awkward situation all around. You
know he's not going to come out and give you 100%.
No.
You're not. But Barca needs to go to a full rebuild. Their defense suck. They have good talent in midfield, young talent. I just don't think it's enough. I think they've struggled since Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets was in that midfield.
That was a very nice midfield.
That was a killer midfield. They never had the greatest defense. And by the way, I got a lot of love for Puyol. But even after Puyol left, and he was never the greatest defender, but Puyol to me, I compare him to a CP3. He's like a general on the field.
A brick, yeah.
He's a brick.
You're in the middle of the field, yeah. Controlled everything, yeah.
Yeah, I remember this.
Everything went through him.
I remember this incident where Fan threw a lighter at PK's face. And PK always want to flop.
Yeah,
he picks up the lighter from the ground and he's taking it to the ref. And Puyol comes and snaps the freaking lighter out of his head. Like, let's go. Back to position. That's what Barca needs.
Puyol.
They need a Puyol.
It makes me laugh because thinking back when I first started watching soccer 10 years ago, and I started playing FIFA. You know, Alan, you know, he was my roommate, and we got hooked on the game. And anytime he was Barcelona, I could not get past Puyol. No. It didn't matter who I was.
Because once you pass
I'd be 20 yards ahead. He'd come fucking from behind, tackle me.
He's slow, but he's strong. If he puts his, body on you, you're losing that ball.
I just have nightmares of those FIFA games. I was slamming the controller. I was like, Puyol! At like 2, 3 in the morning when we're having heated matches.
The good old days. The good old days.
Oh, my God.
Playing FIFA till 3 in the morning.
Fuck you, Puyol.
Fuck you, Puyol.
Fuck you, dude.
But that's what Barca needs. They need a Puyol in their squad. Mm-hmm. No one has taken a leadership role because as much as we want to put the leadership role on Messi is not an outspoken kind of guy.
Yeah, very quiet. You know,
very quiet, very shy.
Lets his play do the
speaking. You the shot, whatever.
Lets the play do the speaking.
Yeah, he lets the play do the speaking. Yeah. That's fine, and that is okay. But you need a captain. You need a guy who's gonna go and and let's go.
Yep.
Just uplift you in that moment. And
no, I agree.
They couldn't replace Puyol. They couldn't replace their midfield. I mean, Sergio Busquets only got older. Mm-hmm. Xavi was never replaced, and you can't really replace a Xavi, but you try to at least bring in someone in the same role with them passes. Because beautiful. A guy like you have,
that just opened up everything.
You have Suarez, you have Messi, and you have whether it was David Villa, whether it was Pedro, whether it's the other players that played in that third attacking role, whether it was Neymar or whatever. You need a good passer. You need a great passer. You need a guy like Iniesta that you don't know if he's gonna pass or he's gonna shoot. Mm-hmm. He's standing outside the box. He could do a million things with the ball. And you need that strong Sergio Busquets right in the middle, Just because Sergio Busquets, if you really watch him, if you don't pay attention to what he does, you might just think he's just another player. But if you really know the game, Sergio Busquets was great at just breaking the offense. When that fast ball is going, Busquets was always there. And that's why Barca were a beast.
A powerhouse.
They
were fun to watch. I know, not the biggest Barca
fan.
I'm
not, because I'm a Madrid fan, but
course.
I still
appreciate the style.
Absolutely.
I mean, they were, for those few years with those guys in the midfield, they were a must-watch.
Absolutely.
Because they played the game beautifully.
That's the squad that won the World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
For Spain.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them were,
right there.
2010. Most of them were in Barca, then the rest was Madrid and a little bit of everywhere. But that Barca team was scary.
They were
scary. Not the greatest defense,
but didn't matter.
But it matched very well. You had Puyol and Piqué, and Piqué is always a diva to me. I was never a big diva.
He's a pretty boy.
Piqué fan. But if I put Puyol next to him, he'll be able to reset him when needs be. And then you had a Dani Alves on the right side, and he can run. And you had a Jordi Alba, or even the French left back they had back at the time. It was a perfect mashup.
Oh yeah.
No one was great by himself or a different team, but all of them together. And I'm talking about that defense, right back, left back, that trio in the midfield, and that trio in the offense. It was just perfect. David Villa back in the day, 2010. I mean, it didn't mesh well with Messi. I know they had their problems, but it still worked. They still won, and that's what matters.
They won. That's it.
No one is gonna remember.
Winning cures everything.
That's it. No one's gonna remember who lost what, who fought with who. Mm-hmm. No one cares. People give a shit about winning. Who won in that year? Who won La Liga? Who won the Champions League? Who won the Premier League? This is the things that matter the most.
Yeah, that's what you're remembered for.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Well, I think this is a wrap.
Yeah, we covered a lot today,
we
huh?
I think we covered all the bases. An hour and a half, 2 hours today.
Nice.
So
I'm out here sweating. I'm not gonna lie.
If you always come in with these big sweaters.
I love hoodies, dog.
I know you do.
Hoodies and cold brew.
T-shirts work. But please, again, if you haven't, it would help us much. If you please go subscribe, like, or comment on the video.
Please.
It would help us tremendously. We're always looking for new guests. We're always going to be breaking sports for you guys, me and Danny Blue Eyes in our in our own way, in a sense. We have our next month very booked. We have a lot of different guests from different platforms. So please go to our social media and follow us so you can keep up with.
I even got an IG now, so you can.
Even Danny Blue Eyes got an IG, so follow.
I just started.
Danny Blue Eyes.
Give me a follow. Give me a holla.
All right. Well, this is a wrap, and we'll see you guys very soon. Have a blessed day.